A glance at Iran's socio-economic conditions under the Mullah's regime reveals almost total destruction. Environment represents one of the biggest crises in Iran. Water resources have been destroyed. With the current trend, Iran will be out of water in 15 years and out of forests in 30 years. Rivers and wetlands are drying up. Soil erosion, ground subsidence, air pollution, and destruction of rangelands are features of environmental crises in Iran.
Prices have increased at an unbelievable rate. The dollar exchange rate by 9-folds, vehicles by 8-folds, housing by 9-folds, and grocery items by at least 6-folds. 80% of Iranians are under the poverty line. 25 million Iranians can't afford to buy meat.
According to the regime's own Parliament Research Centre, Iran has the 4th highest inflation rate in the world. Unemployment represents a huge crisis, with 12 million unemployed. 70% of the country's university graduates are unemployed.
Iran has one of the world's lowest wage levels. The minimum salary per month is $106, almost 1/4 of the $400 poverty line. Official sources acknowledged 5 million child laborers. With close to 10 million addicted, the addiction age is down to 11 years. A horrifying number of 20 to 200 addicted babies are born every day.
The International Monetary Fund reported in 2019 that Iran's economic growth was at negative 9.5%. Just a few examples might explain some of the reasons. Discrepancies between Iran's custom records with the foreign parties in the 9-year interval of 2001 to 2010 was an astonishing $127 billion. Foreign Minister said, "We had to give $35 billion to some people, and now no one knows where the money has gone." According to a government-controlled website, at least $22 billion worth of currency has disappeared.
A government-controlled newspaper reported $18 billion gone with the wind in one case alone. The family of the regime's former Minister of Industries has embezzled €6 billion and 656 million euros. Rouhani's deputy said $22 billion of Iran's cash resources stolen. According to a member of the regime's parliament, $36 billion were given to the band of smugglers of goods, currency and drugs by Rouhani's orders.
According to a government-controlled website, $20 billion were taken out of the country during a gigantic embezzlement. The regime's officials have stolen at least $200 billion of Iranian people's wealth by the most conservative estimates based on the regime's figures. Most certainly not including Khamenei and his family, and a vast part of Pasdaran. Only a few countries in the world have budgets exceeding $200 billion.
With a per capita gross domestic product of $13,000, Iran ranks 77th in the world. 38 million Iranians, 45% of the population of the country, live in slums and marginalized shantytowns, sleeping in graves, caves, tubes, rooftops, stores and cars are now common in Iran.
Coronavirus is out of control in Iran, even based on the regime's own figures. Iran has one of the highest death tolls in the world. Unofficial figures show more than 340,000 dead.
Many of Iran's age-old factories have gone bankrupt. 70% of industries are totally or partially shut down. According to the International Monetary Fund, every year, 150 to 180,000 highly educated persons leave Iran. One of the regime's economic websites estimated that the brain drain has hurt the Iranian economy 300 times more than the war with Iraq. You heard right, 300 times more than the war.